Welcome to Karma Canvas, the story of Suka, how knowledge without confirmation leads to bondage. In the sacred lineage of Vedantic wisdom, there stands a remarkable teaching that reveals the hidden gap between knowing and being. We now enter the forest hermitage, where the great sage Visvamitra sits with Prince Rama and prepares to unfold a story that has guided seekers for millennia. This is the story of Suka, a seeker whose journey illuminates why even the wisest among us may fail to find peace, and what secret lies between knowledge and its realization. O Rama, you stand among the wisest of all beings, and there remains truly nothing further for your intellect to know. Yet I tell you this with utmost clarity. Even the profoundest knowledge requires confirmation, even as the self-knowledge of the great Suka required the blessing of King Janaka before he could attain the peace that passes all understanding. Listen now, for this story will unlock doors within your own consciousness.
Revered Master, I am struck by this mystery. How could Suka, the very son of the great Vedavyasa, fail to find peace despite his knowledge? And what was the nature of this confirmation that brought him the peace he sought? Please, illuminate this profound paradox for my understanding.
Ah, Rama, your question opens the gateway to supreme truth. Hear then this soul-uplifting story of Suka, the born sage, the beloved son of Vedavyasa, who even now sits in radiant presence nearby. Like you, O Prince, Suka arrived at the direct truth concerning the very nature of existence through profound contemplation of this world's impermanence and transience. Yet here lies the subtle trap that even wisdom cannot escape. Because this knowledge came through his own effort and realization, he could not positively affirm to himself with absolute certainty, this is the truth. Suka, though born with the wisdom of ages, had plunged deep into the nature of this world. Through his own contemplation, he had arrived at the state of supreme dispassion, that rare condition where the world's glamour holds no sway. Yet something crucial was missing. One day, seized by this subtle incompleteness, Suka approached his father Vedavyasa with a question that would change everything. The question seemed simple, yet it contained within it the cry of every sincere seeker. Revered Father, I have contemplated the nature of this world's creation with unwavering focus, and yet a question persists within me like an unhealed wound. Tell me truly, how did this extraordinary diversity of world creation come into being from the One? And how shall it dissolve and return to its source? I seek not mere scripture, but your direct knowing. Vedavyasa, moved by his son's sincere inquiry, gave a complete and detailed answer to Suka's profound question. He explained the nature of cosmic creation and dissolution with the eloquence that only a realized master can offer. Yet something unexpected happened, something that revealed the deeper teaching of this entire story. Suka heard the answer, and his mind responded not with joy or illumination, but with a strange emptiness. All this I knew already. Suka thought silently, what is new in this? What is different? In that moment of profound sensitivity that only an enlightened father could possess, Vedavyasa sensed the subtle lack of conviction in Suka. He perceived what even intellectual understanding could not grasp. That knowledge acquired through one's own effort, no matter how true, lacks the power to transform and liberate when it remains unconfirmed by an external source of realization. This is the secret teaching hidden within all of spiritual practice, the necessity of the master's gaze upon the disciple's truth. My beloved son, I perceive that which your mind cannot yet articulate. You have arrived at truth through your own wisdom, yet that very truth, unconfirmed by another consciousness, remains suspended in uncertainty. I must speak honestly with you now. I do not possess knowledge beyond what I have already shared with you. Yet there lives upon this earth a royal sage named Janaka, a king who has transcended the very nature of kingship. He knows more than I, or rather, he knows in a way that carries the seal of realization. Go to him, let your truth be witnessed by his awakening. Thus Suka began his journey toward Janaka's kingdom, carrying with him the paradox of his own perfection. A seeker who knew the truth yet could not confirm it. A sage born with wisdom yet unable to trust it. A consciousness complete in knowledge yet incomplete in being. This journey, the journey from knowing to being confirmed, is the journey of every spiritual seeker. And it led him to the gates of a palace where something unexpected would unfold. When Suka arrived at Janaka's palace, the royal guards were immediately informed of this young sage's arrival. But Janaka, in his infinite wisdom, made a decision that would teach Suka what all scriptures cannot teach. He ignored the young visitor for an entire week, while Suka waited patiently outside the palace gates. Not in anger or rejection did this waiting occur, but in the deliberate pedagogical artistry of a master who understood that the seeker must first learn patience, humility, and the dissolution of expectation. After 7 days had passed like moments in Suka's meditative state, Janaka finally summoned him. But the king's first teaching came not through words, but through an experience designed to test Suka's claim of dispassion. Suka was brought into the opulent palace and attended by dancers whose beauty could captivate the minds of celestials, and by musicians whose melodies could make the gods themselves weep with longing. The king observed in silence, watching whether this young sage's dispassion was genuine or merely intellectual. Janaka observed Suka's complete indifference to these sensory temptations with profound recognition. The subtle tendencies that bind most beings, the desire for pleasure, the pull toward beauty, the addiction to experience, had indeed ceased in Suka. This was genuine dispassion, not forced or performative, but the natural fruit of true wisdom. Finally, satisfied that Suka had demonstrated the authentic sign of a liberated being, Janaka commanded that the seeker be brought into his inner chamber, where the real teaching would now commence. Young Suka, you have demonstrated the signs of one who knows the truth. Your dispassion is genuine, your wisdom authentic, your understanding profound. Yet you have journeyed far to reach me. This itself reveals what your intellect has not yet recognized, that the knowledge you carry, though true, remains incomplete without acknowledgement from another consciousness. You know the truth, yes, but do you know that you know? Tell me, what is the question that has brought you to my threshold? Revered king, I return to the same question that moved me to seek my father's wisdom. How did this diversity of world creation come into being from the one? And how shall it finally cease and return to its source? I ask you now, not seeking new knowledge, but seeking a confirmation that can transform my understanding into unshakable peace. I have known the answer intellectually, but I have not yet become the answer. That is my deepest longing. Suka, I shall now give you the same answer your father gave, the same answer the scriptures proclaim, and the same answer your own wisdom has already known. Hear it now not with your intellect, but with the totality of your being. This diversity of the world arises entirely from mental modifications, from the subtle waves of consciousness itself. These appearances that seem so solid, so separate, so real, are nothing more than the mind's own creation. When these mental modifications cease, not through suppression, but through understanding, all this diversity will dissolve like a dream upon waking. This is the eternal truth. And I, who speak to you now as one who has lived this truth, confirm that what you know is real, and that you are ready to rest in its reality. In that moment, something miraculous occurred. Not something new was created, but something incomplete became whole. Suka's knowledge, confirmed by the realized consciousness of Janaka, crystallized into direct realization. The doubt that had subtly persisted, the invisible barrier between knowing and being, suddenly dissolved. Suka's mind became absolutely still, undisturbed by any doubt whatsoever. He entered Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the highest state of consciousness where all thought waves cease and only pure awareness remains. Thus, O Rama, did Suka attain the ultimate peace through the grace of Janaka's confirmation. This is the profound secret that all seekers must understand. Knowledge without confirmation remains suspended in subtle doubt, and doubt, however refined, prevents the final liberation. The master's gaze upon the disciple's truth transforms that truth from an intellectual possession into a lived realization. Now you understand why even Vedavyasa, mighty in wisdom though he was, recognized that his own knowledge alone could not liberate his son. The teaching has been given. The question has been answered. The journey is complete, not because you now know something new, but because what you have always known has finally been confirmed. Rest in this truth, and from this rest, all peace will flow like an eternal river. The teaching, self-acquired knowledge, requires external confirmation from an enlightened master to transform understanding into liberation and peace. Subscribe to Karma Canvas for daily wisdom from ancient spiritual traditions.